Hey YouTube, so have you seen my last video on power banks? I compared a small RavPower with a small Anker, and my choice was the RavPower simply because of the cost, and it was actually this RavPower versus the Anker. So this one was 6,700 milliamp hour versus the 5.2 of the small Anker one. In my video I said that there was a plastic version of RavPower, which was another £1 cheaper. I guess it'd probably be another $1 cheaper in the US. And this is it. So just an update on this one. It's well, my camera's not focusing very well today. It claims to be the same, but actually there's a very good reason why it is a £1 cheaper. And as you see, it's already got dirty. The plastic's not the best quality actually. It soon tarnishes. I mean, I've only had this since I made the last video I ordered it. So yeah, not great, and it's definitely worth the extra £1 for the really nicely made aluminium cased version. They claim to be the same, but they're slightly different layout. You've got the button on the front there and the button on the side on that one, and the lights do work slightly differently. Actually, I might test this one in the future because I've been using it to charge my iPhone, and it doesn't seem to have the oomph of this one. So verdict's out. Maybe that'll be a test another day. So anyway, my recommendation from the last test stands as the aluminium cased RavPower, which is that part number now. Focus. There we go. Anyway, today's video is about the larger RavPower. So this one is the 13400 milliamp hour and 49 watt hours, blah blah blah. So I believe this has got 4 of the 18650 cells inside of it, the same as this. So this has got 2 of them. It's basically double. Now I was looking on the forums at power banks, and a lot of people think very highly of the I think it's a Xiaomi, and this is the Gen 2. This is the new one. It's the 10,000. They did do I think it was a 10400 or something like that, 440, and although it was a larger capacity, apparently this is a better power bank. Now this uses, as you can see how thin it is, and there's no way that an 18650 fits in there. I've got my 18650 handy actually. Well, 18650 is similar size to a shotgun cartridge, so that obviously fits there like that. No way that would fit in there. So what this uses is a lithium polymer battery, and that is like what you get in remote control cars or RC cars and quadcopters and things like that. Now, I've been a bit wary of them, but the reports are so good that I had to buy one. Apparently the efficiency is excellent, and if we compare the two on there, we'll see there's not a great deal of difference. So 10,000 milliamp hours versus the 13400, and it looks as though they're claiming, although it's in Chinese, a 90% efficiency, which is nice. They put some extra info on this Xiaomi. They also say that the 10,000 milliamp hour is at 3.85 volts, so that's the nominal voltage of the cell inside, whereas the output's 5 volts. That's why, as I was trying to explain in the last video very badly, you don't get the 10,000 milliamp hour into the device. So yeah, the rest of the specs are on there, and it says 6,900 milliamp hour is typical for a 5.1 volt output, which obviously is the USB output. So what we'll do is we'll do the same test as before. I was going to have it running in the background, but the fan on the load is a bit noisy, so I'll start it once I've finished this part of the video. It's easier for me. What I've got, so again, just a USB. The power connections are set into there. I'm going to plug it into a measuring device. Hopefully you'll see that on camera. I'm not sure you will. That'll go in there like that. Timer, and then this. Turn it on. This will display voltage and current. So I've got it set to a 2.4 amp discharge, which is the maximum rated for these. I think it's what you generally see a iPad charge at if it was flat. And obviously an iPad would slowly use less energy as time went on in the charge. So it's a close approximation to charging an iPad. But not quite, so it will carry on at the 2.4 amps, so you would see slightly longer. But this is probably the best test that I can rig up. What I'll do is record it on time lapse on my Mobius camera, just because it's easier and it'll power for ages. I'm going to actually power that off of the other small power bank, so that it runs for the duration. So yeah, what I'll do is set that up, get it going, and I'll probably put it in like I did on the last test into the corner, and I'll flash up some info on the screen. So I've got two more. Yeah, so they're fully, these ones are the ones I'm going to use. I've got these two that have been sat on the shelf there on charge overnight, so those are the two that I'll use, and those two are just to show you. Right, so hopefully you're watching the discharge on an inbox or inlay. Let's see what we get. Okay, so I finished the test. The RavPower and the Xiaomi both to under discharge. Okay, it was the other one. So I ran them both until they cut out at the 2.4 amps, so full discharge. I'm going to have to look at the results on the screen. I might put some comments in, because I think that I did notice that the RavPower, similar to the smaller low power bank, similar to the smaller power bank, was pushing it on the voltage. It was going a little bit low for USB, and the Xiaomi maintained its voltage very well. So you will get a slightly quicker charge with the Xiaomi, but the results, I'll probably have to annotate them onto the screen. So the RavPower, it did 37.85 watt hours, and 8.5 or 8.6, you will round it up, amp hours. Let's see. So you can see how that compares, where they're claiming 49 watt hours, it got 37. So that is a 76% of the claimed capacity. So it did beat the Xiaomi, but it should have done, because it claims more. The Xiaomi, in comparison, managed to come on. yeah, so the Xiaomi in comparison, if we compare it, managed to claim 6.861 amp hour, which is very good, because if you look at the claimed capacity at 5.1, it's 6,900. So it's very close to what they claim. And the watt hours were 31.7 versus the 38.5 claimed. So that gives us an 82% efficiency. So yeah, the Xiaomi, though less powerful than the 1300 RavPower, which is what you'd expect. It's less. There's less difference than there should be. If we look at the dimensions, you can see the Xiaomi is in my opinion, a much nicer size with its thinness. Lengthwise, there's not a lot in it. The Xiaomi is slightly shorter. Widthwise, the RavPower is slightly narrower, but it's about a centimetre. And it's less than a centimetre, I would guess, on the length difference. But yeah, there's a real difference on the width there, and that's quite nice. If you had it in a pocket, I suspect that the Xiaomi would be less intrusive. We'll also just check the weight. So I'm going to turn that light off because you can't see the screen. So this is in grams. Xiaomi is 219 compared to 250 on the RavPower, and for the Americans, 8.8 ounce versus 7.7, so 1.1 ounce difference. Yeah, it's not great though. If you carry it in your pocket, yeah, you'd appreciate the Xiaomi a little more. Obviously, Xiaomi only has one port. That may be a disadvantage. Otherwise, well, they're both great units. I probably would just swing to the Xiaomi as winning that. I am a little more hesitant about lithium polymer batteries, LiPo batteries. I'm not sure. For some reason, my opinion is they're a little less robust, a little more likely to fail. But I'm not sure that's true. It's just something that I seem to have that opinion. Whereas this has got the 18650s, which I've been using for years. I'm very comfortable with using them, and it's horror stories. But these are well regulated, they're protected, and they won't over discharge. So yeah, hopefully I'll roll that in, and that was some use to you. Thanks for watching.